Hey guys, before we start tonight's live stream, I just want to give a massive shout out to the sponsor of this YouTube channel, and that is TBC Live. Guys, TBC Live is a fantastic way to interact with all your favorite content creators. If you download the app today on the App Store, you can make some predictions as you're watching the game of rugby league, whether it be a 40-20, whether it be a try, whatever it may be. You can predict whatever you want, really. Guys, download TBC Live today and you will see all your favorite content creators on the app. Anyway, let's get into tonight's live stream. Panthers Sharks prelim final review. Hit the intro. How are we, lads? How the hell are we? Welcome back to the Nick from Australia YouTube channel. Hope everyone is doing well on this Saturday night. What a fantastic weekend it has been for rugby league. The Panthers and the Storm will do battle in the 2024 NRL Grand Final, and that will be taking place next Sunday night from Accor Stadium. And obviously tonight, the Panthers, a little bit too good for the Sharks, 26 points to 6 in the end. Sharks did try really hard, but a couple of errors in wrong periods of the game just absolutely hurt them. But if you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. This is just going to be me on here tonight, so probably won't be as long as we were last night, but we'll get through it and try and get through as much as we can. But, of course, hello to the live chat. Hello to River. Hello to Charlie, Lockie. Jason Reader is here, the old Jason Reader, the loyal Jason Reader. Hello, Jason. Hope you're well, my friend. Luke, Melbourne Storm fan. William Pearson. Who else is here? The usual crew by the look of it. Lockie. A few people aren't happy about the Storm, about the Panthers winning, but it's just how it is. Jeffrey, everyone, hello. Hope you're all good. Charlie, Nico, how are we? How are we, fellas? How the hell are we? All right. So, yeah, as we know, Panthers 26, Sharks 6. I do want to start by giving the Sharks a bit of a rap. I know the scoreline looks bad. It looks shocking, but the game was a bit closer than what it suggested. 20-6 is what it should have ended up being, but Liam Martin scoring at the end ended up being the difference. The Panthers were so good tonight. They were so good, especially in the second half. First half, they weren't as good, and there were parts of the game where they were in a little bit of strife, but you just knew if their big game players got through it, they would get themselves out of that period where they seemed to be struggling, and they did. They did. But Penrith, they're just too good. They're just too good. Now, funny stat. So since the Penrith dynasty has started, 2021, they beat South in the grand final. 2022, they beat Parramatta in the grand final. 2023, they beat the Broncos in the grand final in a comeback game. The last team to beat Penrith in a big elimination final type game was the Storm in the 2020 grand final. Now, I know South beat them in the week 1 finals in 2021, but last time Penrith were knocked out of the finals in a sudden death game was the 2020 grand finals. So it's absolutely insane how good the Panthers are. They are such a good side. But let's get to the review. We'll go through it. If I forget anything, I apologize, but I'll go through it as best as I can. So yeah, the game kicks off and whatever, and the Sharks got a got a penalty early on and whatnot. And the game started with a bit of both sides of a couple errors. You had Kennedy, Yo, Rudolph, couple errors. Toby Rudolph. Now, I know I've been critical of Toby Rudolph this season, but he couldn't have started any worse in this game. He gave away a penalty, an error, and he did a trip on one of the Panthers players. He couldn't have had a worse start than what he did. Pretty lucky not to be in the sin bin. So Rudolph was penalised for the trip. Penrith went for the penalty goal, as you'd expect in these type of games. Cleary makes it 2-0. And then Liam Martin goes off for a HIA. Now, it was a bit weird, this one, because the category of it wasn't even a relevant thing because the trainer took him off. I didn't know that was a thing. Where if you go for a HIA, if the trainer takes you off, that they can't rule on a category 1 or a category 2. So I did not know that. So that was a bit of a surprise to me. And then the Sharks ended up getting a penalty themselves. James Fisher-Harris was offside. It was one of those downtown penalties that were against Penrith. Anyway, Nico Hines makes the penalty kick with 2-2. And I'll be honest, guys, the first 20 minutes of this game, the opening 20 minutes, I thought the Sharks were probably the better side. For 20 minutes, Sharks were probably the better team early on. I really do believe that. But it didn't matter. There was a bad error from Ronaldo, Mulatalo. Nathan Cleary ends up kicking a 40-20, which is just simply world class from the number 7. And then Nathan Cleary injects himself into the game. Beautiful face ball to Paul Alamotti at left center, who ends up scoring the first try of the game. A few people suggested it might have been a forward pass, but it was all good. Alamotti scores. Panthers go to 8-2 after 24 minutes. Liam Martin comes back on the field from his HIA, so it was good to see Liam Martin pass, and he was good to go. Then there was a couple of errors, man. We had a Martin error, we had an Iro error, Garner, Trindle. It was an error of fun, to be honest, but it was a wet night at a core stadium and looked like it was very slippery in that first half. It looked really, really ordinary. And then right before halftime, big Sia Fatalakai with a late tackle, those whiplash ones where the half throws the ball and then he like sort of comes under and then the defender hits him in the back of the neck sort of thing. Talakai did that to Jerome Luai. It was a bit reckless. It was a bit stupid. I think Talakai was very lucky not to go to the sin bin. If that were a round 18, round 20 game, I say he probably ends up in the sin bin. But, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out that they referee it differently in finals. That is something that I think a lot of people have learnt over this final series. So, we get to halftime, man, and the Panthers lead 10-2. And I thought to myself, the scoreline was still okay for the Sharks. Like, 10-2 wasn't bad. They were still in the contest. It was only one try apiece, but obviously 2 penalty goals made the margin out to a 10-2 lead. Second half begins, and it was pretty back and forth early on in the second half. Pretty back and forth. Luke Garner was penalised for a late tackle. Didn't think there was a whole lot in it. But we're going to get to the absolute rubbish part, man. Absolute rubbish decision. And I said this was going to be no try when it happened live. And then the more I looked at it, the more I just want to laugh at the bunker for the obstruction rule. The no try to Taruva. It was such a bad call. Go back and look at it, guys. Like if you didn't see it or if you missed it, go back and look at it. See if Talakai is the defender. Luke Garner runs the decoy. Talakai is the one that makes first contact with Luke Garner. Unfortunately, they both collide. And because Talakai puts his hands up like this, and he goes on his back. He milks the living hell out of it, and it ends up being a no try to Taruva because of some outside shoulder bullshit where they say it was obstruction. First of all, Talakai hit Garner first, and then Talakai put his hands up in the air and went back. They both collided. There was absolutely no way on this planet that was an obstruction. Talakai milked it for all it was worth. It was a bad decision. I'm so glad it didn't have an impact on... Actually, no. I'm so glad it didn't cost anyone the game because it was a bad call, man. And then how about this? Fucking 2 minutes later, and this is a disgrace as well. So you get the no try to Taruva, which I believe was the wrong decision. Literally a minute later, Mitch Kenny is put on report because Tom Hazelton slips over on his feet, gets hit in the head, a whole lot. There was fuck all in it, to be fair. Absolutely nothing in it. Hazelton falls down, gets hit, complete accident, no intent whatsoever, nothing deliberate. He gets penalized for it. The bunker said something about mitigation. They love this new mitigation term. It's just absolute rubbish. And then the Sharks end up scoring in the corner through Sione Katoa, which was one of the great corner tries of the season. But we should have been down the other end talking about a 14-2/16-2 lead with Taruva's try. So that was an absolute disgrace that there was a no try, and then there was a disgraceful penalty given for someone that slips right over on their ass and is apparently hit in the head by accident. I don't understand how Hazelden was sent for a HIA. It wasn't even that bad. And then Katoa. Now, a few people have said online that they reckon Katoa didn't score the try. I have had a quick look at it before I come on here, a couple of more replays, and I am comfortable with the Sione Katoa try. I think he's grounded it. I think it's good enough to be awarded. I've seen way worse been awarded this year, so I've got no problem with the Sione Katoa try. Now, all of a sudden, Penrith lead 10-6. There's still 20 minutes to go. The Sharks are in this. The Sharks were in the game. They really were, and they were trying really hard. And then this is what I mean about not winning the big moments. The Sharks get the ball off the kickoff. Oregon Kafusi knocks the ball on, and then Brian Toto ends up scoring a crazy razzle-dazzle try from Penrith, which was about 20,000 offloads and then a Cleary kick to a Toto try. There's one thing that NRL coaches hate, and you can ask any coach. If you score points, if you don't complete the next set, the coach is just losing it in the coach's box. There's nothing they can do about it except maybe hook you to the bench. It's just absolutely miserable. And you know what happened? Kafusi knocks it on after they score points. All of a sudden, Penrith, couple offloads, I find space on the right wing. Brian Toto scores. Penrith go to 14-6, and the Sharks' momentum of a comeback goes straight into the garbage bin, straight into the trash. Unbelievable. Penrith go to 14-6, and then Dylan Edwards made a line break. I think he gave it on the inside to maybe Cleary, then gave it to Luai, and then they went left, and then Paul Alamotti ends up scoring right near the post. And the Paul Alamotti double ended up being the ball game right there, and it's Penrith 20-6, game's over. There was a little bit of a concern about Nathan Cleary's shoulder, but I think it was just a bit of precaution. They bring Brad Schneider on, and why not? Why the hell not? He come on and did a job. And then with about 3 minutes to go, a grubber kick for Liam Martin. Liam Martin ends up scoring and pretty much puts the nail in the coffin. And the Panthers win 26 points to 6. They advanced to their 5th grand final in a row, which is literally Melbourne Storm 2006 to 2009 vibes, man. It's absolutely insane. And the Panthers have an opportunity to win their 4th grand final in a row. Insane. And look, you can't write off Penrith because of their incredible junior system and all the great kids they got. But I feel like this could be their last premiership window for a couple of years. I mean, they're losing Fisher Harris. They're losing Jerome Luai. They're losing Taruva. I understand they're bringing in Blaze Talangi and Isaiah Papali'i, and they've got some incredible young kids in the system. They'll still be right up there, but I'm talking about like premiership favourite. If they win it, will they be the favourite next year with who they're losing? I don't know. I don't know if they will. So whoever wins next week, it's going to be absolutely well-deserved. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to next week, man. Penrith versus Cronulla. It's going to be a great grand final. That is for sure. Penrith versus Melbourne, sorry. What did I say, Cronulla? Penrith versus Melbourne grand final next week. It's going to be insane, man. Now, some of the stats. Now, there were a few errors because of the conditions, but I'm pretty sure I read a stat that was Penrith's first win in the wet since 2021 or 2022. So, Panthers don't go well in the rain, as we know, but I did all right tonight in the wet. I did all right. I completed it at 80%. Sharks at 74%. I mean, to beat Penrith, you've got to be completing at least 80 to 90%, somewhere between there. 74 is just not going to cut it, man. How many errors? Where's the error counts? Errors. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it wasn't good. 15 errors from the Sharks, 11 from Penrith. Not good. And some of those Sharks errors were at bad periods too. Like they were at, like, obviously the Kafusi one, which led to the try to go up 14-6. That's the sort of stuff I'm talking about. Those sort of moments, you got to nail those. If you don't get those ones right, you're gonna get blown away like the way the Sharks did in that second half. 7-3 penalty count, I believe, for Penrith. 3-1, 6 against. I mean, not too bad. Both teams used all their interchanges as well, as you'd expect. But thought the Panthers were just too good. Just a little bit too good. Blake Bradley with the most tackles at 56 tackles tonight. Kenny made 47. Edwards, 258 meters. Not surprised by that. And Sione Katoa, 164 meters. Look, I'm not going to go through every player because I'll be here all night, but the ones that stood out to me that were really good, Dylan Edwards, Paul Alamotti, Nathan Cleary was outstanding. Fisher Harris, I thought Garner did well on the edge. Isaiah Yeo was awesome, as he always is. And I thought off the bench, I thought Liam Henry and Lindsay Smith both made a lot of impact there, man. A lot of impact. Brian Ty as well. Exactly right. Ty was a friggin' handful. I couldn't tackle him. I could not tackle him. For the Sharks, though, I thought Sione Katoa tried really hard for the Sharks. Thought he was really good. I don't want to be too critical of Talakai, but Talakai had a shocker, man. Out there at right center. Too many errors, man. Didn't look comfortable. He didn't have a great game, unfortunately. Thought Kayla Iro tried really hard. Thought he was solid. Who else had a good game for Cronulla? Thought McInnes tried really hard, as he always does. Man, how many tackles did McInnes make tonight? 51 tackles. My God. Not even surprised by that. A couple of players I thought were quiet. I thought Teague Wilton was really quiet, man. Teague Wilton's a hell of a player, but seems to be a little bit too quiet for my liking. And, Royce Hunt off the bench, come on, he tried really hard. And Atkinson, when did he come on the field? Atkinson played 20 minutes. I don't even remember seeing him on the field, but I should say as well, he may not look good on stats, but I thought Braden Trindle Although he wasn't as good as what he was last week. Clearly not. Clearly, Trindle was a 9 out of 10 last week. Tonight, he was probably a 6.5. Trindle was okay tonight. Forney played all right for the Sharks. Had a decent game. Hines was shocking. I don't want to kick Nico Hines while he's down because he's had a bad final series, man. He had that terrible game against Melbourne. He had some good moments there, but overall a pretty ordinary game. Didn't really do anything against the Cowboys last week. It was all Trindle. And then tonight, I mean, Hines didn't play that well at all. He just seems to be stuck in a bloody in a friggin' dinner suit. I thought Hines was poor as, man, so disappointing from him. But the Sharks' best players for me were Sione Katoa, Braden Trindle, McInnes, and probably Royce Hunt. And the Panthers' best players were probably Dylan Edwards, Paul Alamotti, Nathan Cleary, and Isaiah Yeo. But honourable mentions to Brian Toto, Liam Henry, and Lindsay Smith. They were all very good as well. The one player for Penrith that I do want to see get in the game more is Isaac Tago. Tago is a hell of a centre, man. He's got so much potential. His future is massive, but needs to get more in the game, man. I don't know if it's him not getting early ball or it's whatever it is. They got to try and get Tago more in the game because he's a bloody good player, I'll tell you that much. But my player of the game it's got to be Nathan Cleary. I know it's boring, but without him, there's no way they win, man. He ran for 145 metres, which is very good for an organising halfback. 3 try assists as well. Kicking game was outstanding. Did he even miss a conversion? I don't even think he did he? No, he missed one. He missed one from the sideline. But Nathan Cleary, player of the game. Panthers too good for the Sharks. 26-6. Storm Panthers grand final next week. Looking forward to it. I'll be back for the preview next week. Just quickly, Luke Melbourne Storm fan with the super chat. $3 super chat. Up to Melbourne Storm next week. All the best. All the best, Luke. Should be a great game, nonetheless. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the Panthers Sharks prelim final review and reaction. I will be live tomorrow, probably at some point, for another stream. But anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Have a friggin' phenomenal Saturday night. Lots of sport to watch, man. If you love watching other sports, there's a lot on tonight. Super League Elimination Finals. You got the bloody Premier League on right now. Bloody Man City versus Newcastle. It's all happening, man. It's going to be a great night for sport. Man City actually lead 1-0 as we speak. But going to go watch some more beautiful sport. What else is there to do? Anyway, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.